There comes a time in everyone's life where we have to ask ourselves, have we at least taken the time? Have we at least put in the effort to get a basic understanding of how real estate works? And tonight I'm hanging out. I get the honor, get the privilege to hang out with my good friend, mentor, colleague, and professional real estate investor since 1989, Dan Borrero, as he gives us information on his life, his lifestyle, real estate, the market that has changed since he started. And combined together, we have over 50 years experience. We would love to just take your phone calls and just listen to what you're doing in the market now, how you think the market is going to affect you, and what are you doing? We want to know what type of deals you're doing. So call in. We're going to give you a phone number to call in tonight with my friend Dan Borrero. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, Mr. Haskins?
Man, I'm telling you, I'm just living the dream. I'm living the dream.
We always are, man. I tell people every day we get up, we have another day to resolve other people's problems, uh, bring new energy to life.
Yep.
It's a blessing. We
It
wake
is a
up on
blessing.
this side of the dirt, we're doing good.
So y'all know we have opened up early registration for the Landlord Survival Guide. Dan got the book in today. We are so honored to be able to. Oh, there you go. Dan got the book in. The links in the video description to we got two specials for y'all tonight. We've opened up early registration. There's a link right below for you to book a call with us to see what it's all about, how we can help you. If it's something that's a match for you, may not be. So we are actually talking to you on the phone first. Why? Because if we're going to charge people for something, we personally and Dan and I have both people approach us all the time to sell for us to sell stuff, high ticket stuff, And I'm telling y'all the truth. Dan was like, "We're not charging 10 grand. We're not charging these ridiculous prices." Dan, why do you do that? I don't know. Be honest. Why
The
is it that you do?
reality is, it's not the reason why I started going on social media and going out to meet people like you, right? The reality is the purpose was to help and to dismantle the misinformation that's out there, right? That people are using to scare to scare you literally into buying their course. Meanwhile, man, we've had this discussion so many times where I'm listening to advice that certain people are giving. I'm like, you're
Out
gonna
of your
you're
mind.
gonna bring your students right to the poorhouse, right? It's so I that's not the purpose why I started doing this. I mean, I'm a wealthy man. I don't need I my wealth comes from my real estate. That's where my cash flow comes as well. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because my new currency is actually enjoying everybody, the people that actually execute and put in the work, enjoying watching their success.
It's something, right? It's something, brother. So y'all, I got Dan for a few moments. Let me go put the phone number up. Where is this at? Dan, is your
I'm
birthday
listening.
coming up? Are we talking
Yes,
about now or?
we
Oh,
can.
Dan got a birthday, y'all.
We can. Let's see who guesses how old I'm going to be on April 5th. Let's see who
How old
guesses that
would
right.
Dan Barrero be? Hey, Deborah, what's up? We got a special for y'all tonight too. Something on top of the Landlord Survival Guide.
Absolutely.
Y'all, put it in the chat. How old or young do you think Dan is going to be? Anthony, Chris, and Dan, thank you for taking the time. You are welcome. It is an honor. Dan, doesn't it feel like an
Much
honor that people will
appreciated,
even listen
Anthony.
to anything we got to say? Because don't nobody listen to me here.
Not at home, they don't. All right. So I want whoever puts in a number, tell me why you think I'm going to be 62. Is because you heard me say it previously? Come on. Uh, please give tips
61.
for trust,
Rosemary
for
says,
assets protection. Thanks.
y'all got
Rosemary
to credit for
says
that.
61. I
Faber says
appreciate that.
62.
Jennifer Jones
Deborah,
says 62. Maria
64.
says 57.
Oh, shit.
So
Maria, 57. Jennifer says 62.
happy birthday, Dan. Many more, brother. Many more. Age is just a number if you enjoy your life. I got to tell you, I used to say that Now when I get out of bed in the morning, my body tells me how old I am.
It'll tell you too.
My body tells me real quick. Anthony Jackson Jr. says 56. I appreciate that. Okay.
Yeah, give you some- yeah. So look, y'all keep guessing. Please. Oh, hold on. He said no, 63. Damn,
What's
he
up,
just
bro? Why you
added.
get what? Damn, why you give me more age, man? What's up with that? Do I look 63, guys? Tell me the truth. Do I look 63?
Yo, he just added 6 years to your joint, kid.
Yeah, the 10 years. Yeah, it's 60. Yeah,
56.
you're right. Dana says 61. Is that you? Are you
Uh,
saying 61 because of what you've heard me say in the past or because I look it? Tell me, guys.
Jennifer
Uh,
says you got those fragrance. Yeah, you look fresh. You look fresh. You're using those old 1970s, 80s sayings.
oh,
Man.
because of the phrases.
Look, man. Dan, I want to ask you as we're gonna keep collecting. I want to talk to us. Let me put the phone number up. We got a special for y'all too. All the homies on here. Dan, tell me about a person. I was listening to one of my mentors talk. He says, "Chris, don't get good at the wrong thing. Don't
Don't
get
get
good at the
good.
wrong thing." And I have
You
met
know
men. I'm a
what, man? That strikes me because I was just thinking about that today. I've gotten good at certain things, and I'm not sure if if it's,
move the needle.
I've concentrated so much time at getting good at that that I lost time to other avenues that may have been more productive.
Mm,
And I was just having that conversation today with my wife. We
mm.
went out to brunch, uh, and I was just talking about that.
Is this
Say that
something?
again, Chris, because that saying is really good.
Well, I'm gonna bring it around, Dan. I don't know about you, but I want to be transparent. I told my wife this when I heard this the other day. Dan, I know men that they be like, Chris, I know you into the real estate thing. When I was in the music business, they would say, Chris, I know you in the music business. Let me tell you what I'm into. I'm into effing. That's what I do. Like I'm telling you, I know men that live this.
Yep, so do I.
I mess with girls. That's my thing. And I'm like, at the time, I didn't quite understand. You know, as I gotten older, I'm like, dude, you got good at the wrong thing. You got good at the wrong thing. And I wanted to ask Dan about that. I want to know, no doubt, your experiences. You know, guys. I know you know dudes. So just help bring that around for the round up family that is listening tonight.
The reality is, I don't know any successful. Well, okay, the people that have been successful, whatever business that was in, or whatever careers they were in, um, that achieved like high success, they always fell. The people that I saw fall were primarily for four reasons: overindulgence in women, overindulgence in liquor, overindulgence in drugs, and overindulgence in gambling.
Mm,
Any one of those four things,
liquor,
or
drugs, women, gambling.
and
Bam.
and a combination of any one of those things, you're done. That's again, that hasn't happened to me, but I've seen other very, I mean, successful people fall by the wayside because of those, either one of those excessively or a combination of those four.
Well, I just wanted to warn our supporters tonight that you can get good at a lot of things in life. You can go out there and I look at social media and I see some people getting good at going to the moon and going to Mars. And I see cultures doing certain things. And I see another culture looking at getting good at getting the best shoes and having the best looking hair and having the, I see so many different focuses, Dan. And I just want to make sure that we bring it home tonight. The focus here tonight, y'all, this is the reason y'all here. We want y'all to get good at real estate investing.
Just get
That's it.
good at investing,
Investing.
whether it be in real estate, whether it be in whatever it is that you enjoy or that you find that you excel in. Get good at it. Get really good at it. That's what you need to do if you want. The best part about this country is, think about this. You have migrants that come here, immigrants, cross the border. They call it la frontera. and they go through hell coming through that frontera, right? And I'm not, by no means am I excusing this behavior. I'm just telling you the facts. Within, within a couple of years, they've got apartments, they got cars, they're already saving. They don't command the English language. Most of them don't even have a high school degree. They don't know how to read and write in the English language, but they got a driver's license. They're driving Ubers, or
Mm.
they got a vendor's license and they're selling hot dogs on the corner.
Wow.
They're working. You
Mm.
know, they work. They got construction jobs. They show up to work every day. So, you know, in this country, as long as you show up and you do the work, the hard work. It's not just showing up. You got to then do the work.
Yeah.
So, I do my free mentorship class every Wednesday. You know that. And I tell people all the time, I could give you all the knowledge in the world, but you got to go out and do the work. I can't do that for you. You're the one who's got to learn how to have a relationship with money. You're the one who's got to learn how to live below your means, right? Because unless you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth, these are the things you have to do to get ahead. Eventually, you don't have to live below your means, but but in the beginning, you're gonna have to, right? You got to develop a relationship with money. That's the first step to any success, is
That's so
developing a
crazy.
relationship with money.
That's one of my bullets I wanted to talk to you about. Listen, guys, call in with your deals, questions, wins that you'd like to discuss. 757-204-1332. 757-204-1332. We are here for you tonight. Dan, we got Mississippi. I want to talk about in a minute. Governor.
That's interesting
Go ahead. I'll go there.
subject.
We'll go
Different,
there real quick.
interesting subject. Guys, put in your questions. Here's your questions. Now we're going into these we go into these articles because we want you to we want you to realize what people like Chris and I are constantly looking at. Now, do I do business in the state of Mississippi? Absolutely not. But I may consider it, depending on how welcoming the tax laws are, or the tenant landlord laws are. Well,
Mhm.
here's something that just came out, but I have a lot of questions about this, just because they're saying, tell them what the article is saying.
Yeah. So this is unreal. This is just a few days ago.
Yep.
Governor Tate Reeves today signs historic legislation that eliminates, wow, man, the individual income tax. When I read this, Dan, I'm thinking to myself, were they even paying a lot of taxes down there? You know what? I'll take that back. I'm thinking about real estate taxes. House Bill 1, or the Build Up Mississippi Act, empowers the state workforce by not taxing their hard earned wages. Mine's hard earned too. And gives Mississippi another competitive advantage when competing for new economic development projects and private capital investment. Wow. I'm proud to sign this into law, complete elimination of the individual income tax in the state of Mississippi. Let me say that again. Mississippi will no longer tax the work, the earnings, or the ambition of its people. The legislation I'm signing in today puts us in a rare class of elite competitive states. There are only a handful of states in the country that do not tax income. Today, Mississippi joins their ranks. And in doing so, we plant our flag.
So
One other thing.
this is
One
my
other thing,
question.
Dan.
Go
Hold
ahead,
up.
go for it.
House bill builds up on biggest tax cut. New legislation cuts individual tax rate to 3% by calendar 30. Okay, so it's not overday. It's not overnight. This is something that's going to take time. Cuts individual tax rate to 3% by calendar year 2030, with future annual decreases until it ultimately falls to zero. Additionally, the legislation signed decreases the tax on grocery sales from 7 to 5. Man, they're lowering taxes, dog. They're lowering taxes where everybody else raising taxes. Hold on, Dan. We take a call and then we get back
Yeah,
to
let's
this.
take the call.
Caller, state your name and where you're calling from. You're on the line with Chris and Dan.
Just turn off the volume on the screen if you don't mind.
South Carolina.
What's your name?
Carolina, how are you, Carolina?
No, my name is Anita, and I
Oh,
have a question.
Where you, Anita? Where you calling from?
My,
¿Dónde está? Where you at?
Charleston, South Carolina.
South Carolina. There you go.
Okay.
How can we help
Anita,
you?
what's your
I have a
question?
question. My question is, I had a property in Florida, Tallahassee, Florida, and my property manager that time gave this single family home to a Section 8 lady. Later, we found out that she was a drug addict and she stopped paying the rent. And when we filed the eviction, we were afraid. So I did not put the address on the 3-day notice. And so because she was on Section 8, she got a lawyer from Legal Aid. And Legal Aid, and she canceled the eviction. And now what happened, so she had this 5 months rent unpaid, and the judge wrote off the entire 5 months rent. So my question is, when the landlord feel the situation, dangerous situation, dealing with a violent drug addict, and can the judge dismiss the eviction process? Can he do that? And my second question is,
well, hold on. Let's stay at the first. Let's stay at the first question.
Okay.
Judge do whatever you want to do.
Yes.
The judge, first of all, does whatever they want. That's number one. Number two, the judge didn't just come up with that out of thin air.
Nope.
So my question to you is, did you have an attorney representing you? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. So first rule of thumb is this, especially because you're doing it from a distance. You're in South Carolina and the property's in Tallahassee. You obviously don't know how the laws there, right? So what I tell people is, you think you're saving money by not hiring an attorney, but it costs you money because now you got to start the process all over again because of a technicality, right? So this is why you should be hiring an attorney. You should have gotten an attorney already and told the attorney, from this point forth, you do the notice and you take care of everything. Because whatever you think you saved, it just costs you more than that, right? That's number one. Number two, you cannot go to the judge and say to the judge, she's violent, she yelled at me, she threatened to hurt me, she's selling drugs, she's a drug addict. You can't do that unless you have documented proof that she physically threatened you, right? So if you were at the property and she physically threatened you or sent you a text or told you that over the phone, you need to stop talking to her. You need to only communicate in writing. And that way, when you go to the judge, you have documented proof that you are afraid to go to your own property to make a repair. At that point, you're pretty much tying the judge's hand. And at that point, because of your documented proof, you'll have a better outcome. But you should never start this without an attorney, especially when you're doing it from a distance and you don't know what you're doing. Chris and I could do this. We could do notices because this is what we do 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We know this already. But even then, I still don't do it myself. I hire an attorney to do it.
Dan, why don't I have police reports out the yin-yang from, right? I mean, she should have police reports. I mean, how many police reports do you have, Anita?
Actually, I had one police report.
That's not enough.
She's selling drugs. No, she's a drug addict. And you feel threatened. Do you get a protective order? Did you get that?
Yes.
Okay, at least you got that then. That's good. That's a plus.
You need to go down and to the local precinct and say, I need to know how many times you've been to this address.
There you go.
And where do I get that documentation proving what you were at this address for and on what dates, what times, and what was the result of you being there.
The judge loves to see a story, Anita. They want to see the story. You got to have the story, okay? But I think Dan hit it on the head. Just hire an attorney. That way, guess what? You go to sleep. You write a check and the problem goes away, right?
Essentially, you wouldn't have had to start all over again. You wouldn't have lost 5 months.
That way they don't get your address. Man, you don't even know. All right, Anita. So to solve this problem here today, you're hiring an attorney tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, Monday. Yeah.
That's tomorrow. All right, Anita. Good luck to
Anita,
Yeah.
we do listen. We cover this. Chris and I came out. We worked on a mastermind class that is. We worked on this for over a year, and we are launching that mastermind class on April 22nd. I highly recommend
you. You need
that
this.
you that you schedule a 15-minute talk with us, because we're talking to everyone before we actually let them into the class to make sure that they're ready to execute. Chris, is the link on the bottom?
Yeah, link, Anita, go right below. Sign up for a call. See if we can help you. This is
And
what you
guys,
need right here.
it's is real easy. It's you could go to Dan Chris Deal.
That's right. We did buy that.
DanChrisDeal.com.
Just go to
Dan,
Dan
DANKRIS deal.com. And
That's
you
right.
could go right, it'll bring you right to
Okay.
it.
All right.
Okay.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay.
That was rough, Dan. I don't. You know what? I don't like hearing that.
Neither do I, but unfortunately, penny wise, dollar foolish. You've heard that a conversation, right? And I can't even blame her, because I used to think that way too.
Well, I don't hire attorneys here. I mean, I'm doing it since 2005, but at the beginning, I should have, instead opposed to trying to figure it all out. But the stakes are too high now, Dan. The stakes, I mean, rents are too. I don't know what are the rents in Tallahassee. I don't know.
Depending on whether it's a single family home, how close it is to the colleges, how close it is to Tallahassee is the capital of the state of Florida, where all the government agencies are. So there's a lot of variables, right? But look, my cheapest rent is like $2,800 a month for a one bedroom here in New York. So when I stroke a check just to start a case to my attorney, it's $1,500, and they go through that within just a few hours. Then I usually have to stroke them another check for $2,500. So we're at $4,000 within 2 months, right? But the way I look at it is,
Wow.
in New York, it could take me 2 years to get rid of a tenant. Imagine if when I get to court 8 months later, 9 months later, they tell me I got to start all over again because of a technicality.
You're out of business.
No. So what do I care if I pay the attorney $4,000? One, it's a write-off, and two, if there's a technicality because of something he did, I'm going after his errors and omissions insurance policy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, stop being penny wise, dollar foolish. Stop, worrying about the pennies and you're walking over dollars.
That's a good one. Dan, so I wanted to know your take on this.
Anybody here, if you want to ask us your questions,
Oh, yeah,
like
get your
Anita
question.
just did, call that number 757-204-1332.
Dan, hold up. Before we go here, you got to announce your birthday special. It's in the link in the video description too.
So the birthday special, guys, I have my mentorship on leash. I've done 131 free mentorship classes. I host every single Wednesday night. If you're interested in that and signing up, it's free to attend, free to sign up. It's danielborrerojr.com. But if you want to get all the classes that we've done, plus my deal analyzers that'll analyze any deal for you within 4 to 5 minutes.
Caller, please wait 1 minute.
All you got to do is go to that link. It's instead of $695 a year, it's for my birthday celebration is going to be $295, 50% off. Take advantage of that.
Look, y'all, this is getting. I just want y'all to understand. I have the honor, and I want to say thank you. I get to call Dan at any time, right? And I don't take that lightly. Dan, do you I don't abuse that, do I?
No, well, shoot, I call you just as much. Chris, I got a Section 8 question.
Well, I get to call him, but listen, y'all get to hang out. This is half price. So this is for Dan's birthday. This is his mentorship unleashed. All this stuff, high level communication on. You ain't getting this nowhere, especially for people in New York. You get to ride around the city and listen to Dan Borrero all day.
Yeah.
Caller, state your name and where you calling from.
Yeah, my name is Devin. I'm actually calling from the state of Mississippi, and I'm glad you guys.
How are you, Devin?
Man, I'm pretty good.
Devin, you just got a raise, kid.
Yeah, I guess he okay, I'm gonna tell you if I can shed a little light on what I think is going on
Is
for
it
what I
smoke
know
and
is
mirrors,
going on.
dog? Is it smoke and mirrors, man?
It's a phase out, so it's not a overnight thing.
Yeah, it
So
says
it's over the period of time.
yeah,
It's like
2030.
a
2030.
0.2, right? So it's a quarter or 0.25 every year that it's supposed to decrease to 3%. Now, the grocery tax will be right now we're paying about 7% sales tax, and that's including grocery tax, so it's supposed to be more than 5%.
Yep.
But to make up for, I guess, the tax revenue that will be lost, the gas tax will increase from 9 cents to 18 cents.
What's going to increase?
So, gas tax.
Gas tax. Okay.
They didn't put
Right.
that.
So
Let's
right.
take a look.
That's so what I understand.
Okay, here we go. The grocery sales tax. Let's go ahead and look at this, Devin. Oh shoot, I forgot I got the timer on. Darn it. I can't do but so much. I can't do everything.
Yeah, I should have reminded you.
The grocery sales tax will decrease from 7 to 5% starting July under the legislation. The bill will raise the gas tax from the current 18 cents per gallon to 21 cents starting in July. The gas tax will increase by 3 cents per gallon until reaching 27 cents per gallon in 2 years. Oh.
Right.
All right. Go ahead,
Right.
Devin.
No, yeah, I just wanted to shed light on that. That's all. I guess it will be smoke and mirrors, Chris, the way you put it. I mean, there's not as publicized.
Yeah, we hear that. These fools doing like this.
Right, yeah.
They just take it one hand and just move it.
Well, I mean, not really. Think about it. I mean, how much of your salary goes towards gas? Not as much as would go towards food or your income tax, right? But my question is, and this would take some deep searching, is me as an investor, that sounds great, right?
I don't drive there that much, but I would.
No, but it
own
sounds
real
great
estate.
that if I could move there and I'm not going to pay no income tax and by 2030 on all the money I make, whereas here in New York City, between New York City and New York State, I'm paying 19% on my income.
Damn.
Right? So I would say maybe that might be a good thing. But why am I going to go to Mississippi? So I'm going to go there, I'm going to buy property, but my cash flow won't be as good than New York because people's incomes are lower. Let's look up what the income is. I'm assuming that's what it is, right? And I'd love to look up where does Mississippi stand in reference to education?
Wow, 30,000 households, 54,000. That's super low.
Right.
Man.
So how
And
can I?
Dan, that is a great point. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
So the point is, as an investor, it sounds really intriguing, right? Because I could go there and I could pick up properties at a lower acquisition cost. But my problem is, who do I rent to? How am I going to create real good cash flow, right? So if I got to manage 4 houses to get the cash flow that I would normally get with one apartment in the city, guess what? I'm staying in the city because I'm working less. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, and yeah, absolutely. But on the flip side, your acquisition would not be nearly as much as it will
Correct.
Be
but
you're gonna. I will say.
What'd you say, Devin? Go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead, I'm Devin. I'm listening.
Yeah, it's all good. And I believe, in my opinion, State Reeves is following suit of a lot of surrounding states in the South. Well, I ain't gonna say a lot, but I know Tennessee doesn't have state tax. Florida doesn't have a state income tax, and I believe Texas don't. So I want to say he's trying to be, or his intention is to be somewhat competitive to gain more investors for the long run, like you're saying, Dan.
See, Devin, this is the thing. Let me, since this is a real estate channel, let's talk about that. As a real estate investor, as an entrepreneur, I want to go where there's employment. I want to go because employment brings people. When people are there, they need services and they need real estate. They need roofers, they need gardeners, they need car mechanics, they need physical therapists, they need doctors, they need they need beauty parlors, they need dog groomers, they need ice cream parlors, they need coffee shops, right? They need the masonry people. This is what they need. And then Chris and I and everyone here, I hope, is thinking the same thing, that they're going to need they're going to then need real estate, right? All those vendors need real estate to house their businesses under. All those vendors need a home to go home to after they go from their real estate where their business is at. And that's where we should be positioning ourselves, providing that service. Now, the problem is, though, if they don't, you're talking about Florida, you're talking about Texas. Texas has a big oil boom. Texas has a big commercial district in Dallas, as well as Houston and Austin. Where's Mississippi's commercial district? Where's Mississippi's oil? You know, Florida has a huge tourism industry, right? They've even gone so far to pull away somewhat from tourism and open up Medical City in Central Florida, Lake Mary, that is booming, that created thousands and thousands of jobs, educated jobs, right? So what's Mississippi? You can't just lower the taxes and not bring in employment where people are going to need real estate.
Devin, your final thoughts, buddy. We get you out of here.
Yeah. I mean, Dan is making a great point. So for what I'm hearing, what he's saying, where is the big driving factor? Being that real estate is, like you're saying, Chris, is an interdependent industry. So I totally understand what he's saying, 1,000%. And right now, like I said, Mississippi does have this of not having that. So I got you.
Devin, I would say this is a wait and see type of situation.
Right.
All right, Dev. Good to hear from you, buddy. Thanks for calling in.
Man, I appreciate you guys, man.
Thank you, Gavin. Appreciate you, man.
Peace.
All right.
Damn, that's something, Dan. Dan, you were talking earlier. I want everybody. I got a question. Is there something here? Given both of our lengthy experience and insights, what property acquisition strategies do you believe are most effective in navigating the current market conditions and political climate? A Castillo. Is it Castillo or Castillo?
Castillo. How are you, Mr. Castillo?
You
want to take that one first, Chris?
Well, for me, acquisition, I got to be honest with you, dog. Buying creatively, Dan, has just saved my butt since 2010. Buying creatively and raising private money. I mean, I'm doing a new construction now, all private money. I just got 3 under contract. I got a call yesterday for $120,000. And if you have any money you want to get working in some of our deals, I don't have the deepest pockets like a Dan Borrero has. So
yeah,
I'm still borrowing money.
Don't let him fool you.
I'm still borrowing money. If anybody wants to come on, I got 3 new constructions we're going to be financing, but creative financing and private money. Dan?
Political environment. I think no matter who comes into the president or governor, they always going to create some chaos. Some create more chaos than others. This particular president is creating some serious disruption. When he came in, everybody who supported him was, hey, we're gonna make more money. That's why we're supporting him.
Yeah, they sick.
It's not happening. He just came out and said, I think yesterday or today, he said, hey, I don't care what the ramifications are. I'm sticking to the 25% tariffs on everything coming in, including car parts. Right. So I don't know if he's going to do this because Trump I think this is the way he negotiates. He creates fear on the opposite side so they back down. And it works a lot of times, too.
Okay. What's your acquisition strategies?
Right. So the point is, if this happens, if he does exactly what he says he's going to do, we're going to see some major opportunities. And I don't know if it'll be as good as 2009 and 2008, like because I made a lot of money back then. But I intend, if it happens the way I think it may happen because of this administration's policies, I'm going to love Donald Trump because Donald Trump's going to make me richer.
We already know you're a Trump supporter, Dan. You don't got
I didn't say I was a Trump supporter. I'm not either side. This is the thing. I didn't support Biden and I didn't support Trump. You know that, Chris. The truth is, I don't believe either party has our benefit, the American citizens' benefits in their hearts. They don't care about us, right? But what I do know is I'm watching, I'm listening, I'm preparing, because there's going to be a lot of opportunities. And I've been saying this on all my lives. I've been saying it, especially since Trump won the election. There's going to be it didn't matter who won. There was going to be a downturn.
Mm-hmm.
Was it going to be this bad? I don't know, but I know there's going to be a lot of opportunities.
I love it.
Yeah. So, I don't care what the political environment is. I don't care who the president is. The president's not going to determine my wealth. Is the president going to determine your wealth, Chris?
I don't even think about him, actually. No, I got to do what I got to do. Closing deals, selling houses.
I think about him because I want to know how to position myself. But do I think about, there's nothing we could do about whatever he does. So it doesn't matter to me. I just want to move. I want to move. I want to pivot. I want to beef. I want to wav, and I want to make my money.
So, guys, in the video description below in the show notes, there's 2 links. One for to book a call to join the Ultimate Landlord Survival Guide. Number 2 is Dan's Mentorship Unleashed. It's all of his trainings to help you focus on managing your rental property and a whole bunch of other stuff too.
Oh my God, we are now at 131 classes, and all 131 classes on there. What I really love about my platform is, let's say you want to know about how to find a contractor. Type in the word contractor into the search, and those classes will come up. Sweet. If you want to know how to manage a difficult tenant, type in the word tenant. Those classes will come up. If you want to know about financial different financial loans, let's say you want to learn about hard money, type in the word hard money or type in the word loan. Those classes will come up with the special guests that we came on discussing that. Chris has been a special guest on my class, mentorship class, several times, right? Talking about subject 2. You want to hear Chris talk directly about subject 2, detailed, type in the word subject 2 or Chris Haskins, right? So we got 131 classes, which I've done all for free for those that attended, and we've recorded them into a video library. And not only that, I've got my deal analyzer that'll analyze any deal within 4 to 5 minutes for you.
Dan, could you help my roundup homies? I have some notes here. I wanted to talk to them about the importance of running lean. Running a lean operation. And I know I hear entrepreneurs say, don't cut your costs, expand your ability to earn more. It's kind of like a different philosophies. They're like, don't
I think you have to run your business with both philosophies. Run lean and expand and learn how to expand more. It's my brother, I remember once I was talking to my brother, I was like, we got to figure out how we get a little bit more lean. And we already run real lean, right? Mm-hmm. And my brother was like, why don't we start thinking about how to make more money? And that was about 7-8 years ago. And I was like, I'll never forget that. I was like, you know what? He's right. So you were saying earlier, don't get good at the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. So I was really good at cutting costs, but was it helping my business? That's a question. So there's a very fine line. Chris, come on, man. You know how to, you're like, it's a seesaw. If you cut too much, so you save more, but your business doesn't go up. Like, you left all this business below.
Like Anita with the lawyer. She should have hired that lawyer.
Exactly.
How do you know when
it's a fine line that you're walking, and that line constantly has to be reevaluated. And you're constantly training on how to walk on that fine line. Mm-hmm. It never changes.
But what I heard you say was you ran lean first.
When I first started, I ran super lean. I remember, I'll share this with everyone. I went 7 years without taking a day off, and I was driving a Chevy Cavalier with about 190,000 miles on it. And back then,
y'all imagine seeing Dad get out of that car.
Listen, guys, you know what? American cars did not go 100,000 miles, let alone 190 back then. And I was living like a pauper. I bought 2 investment properties living in while I was renting.
There, you a mess.
Before I bought my own personal home.
No, I never did that. That's something right there. That's spectacular.
That was so what I'm saying is, and getting back to it, live you gotta when you first starting off, you don't have any money, you gotta live below your means.
Romulus says, "What's the best way to go about buying houses with creative finance, and what is the best book I can read?" Well, I have to say that my training, I don't have a book. Maybe I should do a book on it. You know what? Maybe we should.
You
We have a
should.
training. Yeah, that's a good. I should just do that. We got a full training on it. I don't even have it on my website. If you send my team an email, we will get you a link to that training. But ain't no book on this stuff, man. I haven't found one. Sorry, brother. I spent tens of thousands of dollars trying to learn that
What
one.
about what's his name? The guy before Ron LeGrand, Alan something.
Alan.
You know what I'm talking about? He came out before
Carlton Sheets, you mean?
no, not Carlton Sheets. Something Allen. He came out. His books
Oh,
came out
Bill
before.
Allen. No, not Bill Allen.
He came out before Rich Dad and Poor Dad.
It is Bill Allen, isn't it? Bill.
Let's look him up.
Robert Allen.
Robert
Robert
Allen.
Allen.
Yeah, he talks about creative financing.
Yeah, he wants to know about a book though. Is a book distributed?
He's got a few books on it.
Okay, cool. Go Google Robert Allen. Robert Allen. He is the actual godfather in this thing, dude.
Yeah, he is.
He is. I gotta give it to you, man. Deborah, simple sample property, Camden, New Jersey. Purchase price $165. Estimated rent $1,000. Taxes $2,300.
Not enough money.
What are you talking about?
Not enough money because it's 165. Deborah, you have my deal analyzer. You should be using that deal analyzer.
What's it worth? What if it's worth $1 million?
Okay, I'm looking at the cash flow part, but you're right. But it's in
Where's
Camden.
the cash flow?
I know Camden, New Jersey.
I
it
know.
ain't worth $1 million.
I'm just saying. You don't know. Cash flow rent's $1,000. Darn, that's terrible. Camden need to do something.
Yeah, I would need a lot more information, and I would love to. You know what? You may want to ask me that question at this week's mentorship class, and we'll analyze the deal right on the class.
Should do Zillow. Call in with your questions, guys. 757. We got a few more minutes with Dan Borrero. 204-1332. 204-1332.
So remember, guys, we Kris and I, we launched the Landlord Survival, the Ultimate Landlord Survival Guide. Kris, you want to tell them about that?
Yeah, so it is an honor. Dan is going to be teaching you how to not lose your shirt. Even the people we're interviewing for these things, y'all, they need us right now. Like these people. Remember the guy the other day? The guy did a Zoom. He is in the middle of a water line replacement in the city, in New York City. I mean, Dan, that was amazing.
But the crazy part was he was describing to us how he lost a 4-family house, a building in the city because his tenants managed him to the broke house, right? So hence, why are we doing this class? Because 50% of the calls we get when we do consultations, right, Kris? It's for 2 reasons. Most of 9 out of 10 times, people got into the deal without analyzing it the right way. They're trying to figure out how to fix the numbers or get out of the deal.
Yeah.
Or 2, they got into the deal with an existing tenant or that was horrifying, or with a tenant that they placed that was horrifying. So we're going to be teaching you guys how to change your mindset, and I'll give you guys one. Let's give them one tip. When you're renting an apartment or a house, you're the bank. When you went to the bank to get the loan for that property, they went through your financials with a fine-tooth comb to see if you could actually afford it and whether you had the habit of paying your bills on time and to make sure that you had a relationship with money. Well, when you are renting a property to a person, let's use simplistic numbers. If that property is renting for $1,000 a month, you just gave that person a $12,000 credit line for the year. Why should you not also go through their financials with a fine-tooth comb and find out the character of a person they are through their credit check as well as interviews, how long they've been on their job, right? This is how we're going to be teaching you to change your mindset, right? You're not a landlord. You're a whole lot more than a landlord.
I love it.
right? So, and we've even got this book that's 137 pages, this workbook, guys. We've worked on this for a year and a half, Chris and I. So the link is below. Sign up to sit down and talk to Chris and I to make sure that this is the right fit for you.
That's a good point. And also, it's 2 links down there, y'all. Dan, we're getting ready to cut out of here. 2 things. I got a question. I see Devon, but I want to talk to you, and I want our viewers to everybody's always looking at earning more money, right? And you and I talk about this a lot. When do we make a decision to say, you know what? I need to also be a manager of what I earn, because most of us are just trying to go out there and just make more money. I'm like, make more money. I never forget, I heard Tony Robbins. He's like, if you want to make more money, here's $1. I threw $1 at the guy. Here, boom, you made more money. So in our minds, and including me, I was always like, I gotta make more, earn more, make more. But now as I'm at this point in my life, I'm like, dude, I need to manage what the heck I got. And I've had to manage my people to where I'm at now, Dan. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
You know, it's funny. It took me until I got hit with a tax bill that took 60% of my income for the year. And never happened to me again. Just because, you know, more money doesn't necessarily mean you go home with more money.
No.
It's all about how you manage your money and manage the people in your team. So there are times I could tell you personally, I could make $200,000 a year and I will go home with more money than the doctor that made $400,000 a year. You got to create a relationship with money, and that includes understanding your state tax laws, implications, I should say, your city tax implications, and your federal implications. So, case in point, I meet with my accountant every first Tuesday of the month and every third Tuesday of the month at 6:30 in the morning.
Lord, man.
I don't buy anything of any major. I won't buy a printer without talking to him. How much is that printer really costing me after my write-offs? When I bought my truck, I knew exactly which company I was going to write it off to and how much I was going to write off per year. So I knew that whatever that truck cost me was irrelevant. Whatever I signed the check for that day was irrelevant. What matters is what it cost me at the end of the year.
Management, y'all. Well, for me, it's more for my business. Management is managing my lenders, managing other investors we work with, managing construction sites, managing the daily income, outgo, what's going. So I was always in earning mode, and now I'm looking back like, dude, you can earn as much. You can earn $1 million, but if you spend $1.1 million, you done, right? So
done. You're an income. You know, the rich dad, poor dad. You know, if you made 100,000 and spent 100,000, you're an income statement person, right? Now, if you made 100,000 and you spent 75,000, you're a balance sheet person. You're going to eventually have all these properties and all these assets, whether it be stock portfolio, whether it be gold, silver, whether it be property, whatever that is. That balance sheet person is always going to outbeat the income statement person, even if the income statement person is making more money per year. It's right. Irrelevant.
I love it. We got a chance, Dan. We got a chance. Devon, should your local market conditions influence your rental investment strategy, traditional versus non-traditional? Dan?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm not going to do what Dan's doing in Hampton Roads, Virginia, because first of all, it's not a lot of multifamily here, and most of it's way overpriced because we got 7 military bases here. We got people coming here buying their bill. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that always is a major influence. I mean, the major influences to me is what are the tenant landlord laws, and what's bringing people in. If I go into a town that looks really good, but everybody's dependent on one manufacturer, yeah, I'm not buying that. Not going to do that. What's the What's the draw? What's the draw is what you need to look for. And usually the draw comes as a result of local government and state government taken action to attract new, people, companies with money,
Big
so that they
company.
could open up either their factories or their headquarters, whatever that is. What's the draw? What's
Mhm.
the draw? Under Biden's administration, Make America First Act, the Technology Act, that brought in a lot of money, primarily with computer chip manufacturing.
Mhm.
And most of those most of those companies went to the red states because of their state taxes, their state tax benefits. So who got the benefit of that coming in? Which states got the benefit were the red states,
Mhm.
but it created hundreds of thousands of jobs, right?
Mhm.
So, this is what you need to look at. You need to read, you need to go to your community board, you need to be getting on a mailing list to all your politicians in your local
Master plan.
area. They're going to be telling you everything that's coming.
I'm glad you said it. I'm going to Google my master plan in my city now. Thank you, Dan. I don't know what a master plan. Okay, Roundup family, book a call with us. See if the Ultimate Landlord Survival Guide is something that will help you in your career. Don't forget, one mistake could cost you 5, 10, 15,000 in Virginia. I don't know what one mistake gonna cost you in New York, kid.
Absolutely.
What is it gonna cost a dinner? What is it? What is one mistake there? 15, 20 grand?
More than that, think about it. My average rent, let's say the lowest rent I have is $2,700 for a 1-bedroom door.
How can you say that, Dan, and not? How can you?
Well, look, there's a big difference. If you go, let's say in Florida, my average rent in Central Florida for a 1-bedroom is $1,600, literally $1,100 less.
Got it.
But my acquisition cost was a lot less, right?
Mhm.
But again, that's irrelevant. The point is, let's not make the mistakes that other person, the first person who
Anita,
called in.
hire the experts.
Hire the experts.
All right, class.
Don't be penny wise, dollar foolish.
All right. Talk to you soon. Peace.
Take care, everyone.